All right. Dream Warriors, Day of Dread, Day 2. We're doing Pumpkinhead, so got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about with this movie. A lot of you forget about Pumpkinhead. So let's just get to it. Yeah. So the goofy thing, pun intended. By the way, it's 5:17 a.m. in the morning, October 2, and again, not going to one of my pre-recorded shelf episodes because I just watched Pumpkinhead. I've been up for a few hours already and put this movie on and just kind of again rushed to sit down to discuss it. There was so much I forgot about this movie, and uh, I just I felt like it was a public service to talk about it and go over it. So I got my iced coffee. We're talking about Pumpkinhead, and I guess I'm basic. I'm basic right now because I have pumpkin spice flavor Nestle Coffee Mate Natural Bliss Creamer that I'm drinking right now. So I'm drinking a iced pumpkin coffee. Excuse me, while talking about Pumpkinhead. All right, so we got to get into this movie. Uh, Very important movie. I think any movie that has a like a focal, like a clear concept, as in what the for movies like this, horror movies, uh, terror-driven movies, horror-driven movies. I love focal points, and by this I mean you're you're getting a movie with Jason Voorhees. Here's Freddy Krueger. Okay, here's Hatchet, or it's not there, but and then like Aliens and Pumpkinhead falls right into this. And I remember when this movie came out. It was a lot like Candyman. It was post Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street craze. And these movies were a part of this wave that, there was like a market for it. There was a sizable market. And, Pumpkinhead was one of those rentals. As a South Jersey youth, you you had to see this movie. You had to go rent it. You had to try and watch it by yourself or watch it with friends. I remember younger being disappointed with this movie initially because you sit down and watch a horror movie and you just want to see the blood. So that's why the Bunny Man Massacre movie from day one, last episode, resonated so well with me because it took this position with blood and it just ran with it. Clear intent. But no, Pumpkinhead is, geez, we're talking about layers here. We're talking about nuance. I, I think every angle, every facet uh, that this movie could have excelled on, I believe it did. And it's one of these movies that got a bunch of sequels. I think it has four. I took some notes. I'm just going to go through my notes in a little bit, but it didn't carry over um, in the sequel engine. In, I would say, something like Hellraiser. Um, it just Hellraiser, Child's Play, repeatedly get these. You know, s- um, I think Child's Play, sophisticated, ballsy, daring reboots every couple years. Very few horror franchises are handled as well as Child's Play. But yeah, Pumpkinhead just Jeepers Creepers will kind of fall in line with Pumpkinhead, and both of them are equally fantastic. But yeah, so does Pumpkinhead have a raw deal? Definitely not. I think it really is a diamond in the rough. It's a middle amazing movie. There is nothing about this movie that you cannot appreciate, you cannot learn from. Like few of its contemporaries, uh, there are so many frames in this movie that you could just print out and put up on your wall, and that is it's just a testament to vision. It's a testament to the people who made the movie, who were professionals, who were experts, and essentially knew what they were doing. And yeah, so what's the legacy of something like Pumpkinhead? I really don't know because I'm not really connected to the horror community. I don't really go to conventions. I don't really hit a lot of the websites. But I know for me and my circle, no one's no one I know has ever seen Pumpkinhead. Like perhaps more than once. So yeah, let's just get into the dirty a little bit here. So, Pumpkinhead. It's a '98 movie, 1998. It's available now. You can stream it on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Amazon Prime. Day two of Amazon Prime, and yeah. So, and the movie is directed by Stan Winston. And if you don't know that name, that's fine by me. But you know his work. This is the special effects, uh, like super mind genius behind Aliens, Predator, Congo. Uh, Congo just sits so well with me. Okay, I might be on the fringe of that, and Jurassic Park, which is where I was introduced to him. Cause I remember my sister. I think her first day at college, she had like money left over from buying books, and in the college bookstore, she bought me a making of Jurassic Park, a book that I still have on my bookshelf, and it blew me away because it had storyboards, and I never really saw storyboards before. Uh, so again, captivated me. The penciled artwork for that, amazing. And then the the other side was this like Stan Winston side that was sprinkled throughout the book, and that was even one of my first times seeing the importance of special effect collaboration within the movie. And that was essentially my introduction to Stan Winston, the director of this movie. Winston is no longer with us. I just have to say that. We're going to discuss two deaths, and I just hate it. I hate discussing, just even acknowledging it. But yeah, Stan Winston died in 2008. Uh, Multiple melanoma. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I think it's essentially like cancer of the blood cells. So it's like blood cancer, and it was like the 5, 6, whatever year battle. So it sucks that he's no longer with us because he's one of the voices, one of the talents that really needed, just always needs to be there, needs to keep going. Even at one time, I was obsessed with the Stan Winston websites for his companies, and I emulated a lot of my website work on Stan Winston's websites because they had like nice use of animation and flash and motion graphics, and the way how the menus, there was like an animation with some robotic arms that like were clanging together, and it was like really cool stuff. So yeah, this is a movie directed by a guy that came up through special effects. And the funny thing is, though, I did research this because I wanted to be sure. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm just kind of saying to myself, so, some movies I knew, like I knew Silent Running, the movie that I always always watch that movie. Silent Running, directed by Douglas Trumbull. I know Tom Savini did a Night of the Living Dead remake. I wasn't sure if Rick Baker directed anything, so I looked that up, and Rick Baker produced 2 movies. So, and then just digging around, uh, Phil Tippett. I kind of recalled him, but he only directed Starship Troopers 2, Heroes of the Federation. So, like, these are some of the notable films directed by other special effects guys. So, yeah, it's kind of funny because if you go through all of it, when it comes to feature films, Stan Winston he made the best movie from the special effects department. Being a special effects guy, he made the best movie coming from that thread, and he did it in '98, and no one has come close. Well, I don't know if, like, okay, that's just my opinion, but like, no one can challenge it. Greg Nicotero, who butchering that last name, but Greg, this dude has a incredible, like, filmography. His last name is Nicotero, and he notably directed like 8 or 9 episodes, I think 10 episodes of Walking Dead. But like, that's your closest competitor. Directing for TV way different than feature film, but yeah. So Stan Winston, this is part of my discovery of just sitting down, enjoying something immensely, and just realizing, like, a hell of a talking point, which is, yeah, like, special effects is a side of the industry that a lot of the heroes are, they're just hidden. Like the people who really develop the technology and bring forward the ideas to make things happen on screen. These people are invisible. They're invisible geniuses. A few of them elevate into a lexicon type level, Stain being one of them. But of all of this, of all of this creative talent, Stan Winston in '98, solidified. Like, he created the Watchmen of special effects directed movies. Like, it kind of blew me away. So the other part of this movie that stood out is, as I said, the way it's shot. So much of this film, you can put up on your wall, and I love when I see stuff like that, just when it hits me, and I think it's something that's dying a little bit today, because like, green screens don't create the depth of light when you shoot within studio. Okay, there's a like, I can't describe it, but it's something with the human eye. Okay, and the CG work doesn't recreate it. It doesn't create almost like the atmosphere. It just doesn't. So, I wanted to look up who was a cinematographer, and it's Bojan Basili. Okay, and all cinematographers have names you can't pronounce. So, his filmography, like, he's got some stuff behind him, and some of it is some movies I really enjoy, being Sugar Hill, Surviving the Game, The Ring 2002, California, Brad Pitt, and I'm pretty sure Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Hell of a movie. I love the way that movie's shot. Dangerous Beauty, and his glamour, his gloss over, his pivot, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So, like, this dude's been in the game. And he had fun lighting this movie, because this movie has shades, tones. There's blues, there's grays, there's yellows, there's orange, there's darkness, there's black, or like charcoal, but it is stylistically there. Like, I would even put, like, I put this on par with Aliens, just the way it looks. Okay, and it's not as, when it comes to processing, the budget wasn't there, so you don't have the there was like a shine to aliens that you don't get with this movie, and it's strictly film quality. It's the way it's processed, chemicals being used to develop the original prints, and this is a setback to lower budgeted movies. But holy crap, dude! I don't think they paid Bojan enough, because I think he should be getting some checks right now for this movie. And yeah, so again, amazing. Um, yeah, so like maybe like a little bit about this movie. Yeah, the movie doesn't deliver anything we haven't seen. Okay, most of the movies we're going to discuss this month are exactly that. There's a few in my eyes that I think I would call original, like just ideas, or just a position on a thought that became a movie. Pumpkinhead is not that. Pumpkinhead is it's a curse. It's a backwoods legend. Again, we've seen it. It is youth, rambunctious, troubled youth. No, like I don't want to say troubled. Kids just being kids. Get into trouble. Something bad happens. A sequence of bad decisions. Okay, bad justification. This movie, I think, is heralded in my view now, and it's probably one of the reasons why I was initially disappointed when I saw this movie when I was younger for the first time. Is there's no boobies, there's no nudity. It takes the high road with that, but it definitely gives us a teenager that we haven't seen in other horror movies. I think up until this point, I would say I would compare it to maybe like Halloween. But again, Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie, Nightmare on Elm Street also, very self-aware within what's happening, but the kids in this movie don't know there's no repercussion on what they're doing. They're strictly just being bad kids, and I think that came through really well. But we have like a witch scene again. I've saw it before this, saw it after this. We have a death scene. We have a resurrection scene. We have a monster transformation being birthed scene. Again, none of this is new, but it put together. The monster transformation scene, incredible for '98. The witch scene where Lance Henriksen, who, when again, like I kind of discovered him in this movie, he was never like an aliens guy to me. He was sorry, we got sorry, we got something flying overhead. But yeah, it was aliens in this movie, but he was never Lance Henriksen in Aliens. To me, he was always Bishop, but in this movie, he was Lance Henriksen, and he is the death of his son in this movie. Spoiler, is it's a great scene. He's so good. I mean, just getting like a callback when he takes the son home and he washes the son's face because he's just trying to clean up his boy that's no longer with him. It's really heartbreaking. The death scene of the child, it's well acted, rushed, it's paced very quickly, very well. It's heartbreaking to watch, and there's a flow of mixed motivations and bad decisions, and it's a great sequence, and it goes on longer than you would anticipate, which is again just adds volume to what comes up later. But going back to the witch scene, he goes to a witch. The witch is going to help him bring back his child, and in doing so, resurrects Pumpkinhead. This scene when he talks to the witch, you just have to see it. There's nothing I can say that's going to describe it. But it is as well shot of a scene, well blocked shot, well blocked of a scene than nearly anything you will see. And again too, like this is a guy who mostly spends his time behind the camera, fixing things, designing things between, like like he's not he's on set, but he's not on set at the same time. Yeah, and this movie didn't create these conventions, but it solidified them. If you want to see how conventions are used in the movie to the max, Pumpkinhead is that example, and there's a lot to soak in from it. So, yeah, leapfrogging here though. The other standout, the other superstar in this movie, Richard Stone, who did the music. Sorry, let me get a drink of this. Yeah, Richard Stone died of cancer at age 47. If this dude didn't die, he would probably be a Academy Award winner. I honestly believe that. If not, multiple nominee. So he was the music guy for a block in Warner Brothers Animation, and you might be like, "Well, Pete, like how can you say this guy is going to get the Academy Award and he's doing music for cartoons for Warner Brothers Animation?" Well, he did he did Animaniacs. He did Tasmania. He was a critical part in potentially the last golden age of drawn animation, of hand drawn animation, and it's incredible. His credits for that are it's you gush at it, like you gush what he was a part of, and yeah, I think this movie is a hell of a feather in his cap, and it really stinks. It stinks that he couldn't finish his career because he had a hell of a lot of potential. Oh, excuse me. So, Pumpkinhead franchise, I guess that's a part of the legacy of Pumpkinhead. Got a sequel. I'm just reading these here. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. Excuse me. That was came out in '94. Pumpkinhead came out in '88. I'm sorry, '88. I may have said '98 a few times. I'm an idiot. '88. Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes 2006, and then there was I guess announced Pumpkinhead Blood Feud, and that's it. Like that's the legacy of Pumpkinhead. I believe Pumpkinhead's it's what solidified the Pumpkinhead legacy was McFarlane Figures did an action figure of Pumpkinhead, and that's as a IP creative entity, as part of real hard legacy. When McFarlane went into that arena of doing one-off action figures, not doing a entire line of an action figure. So it would be like his line was like might have been like Cinema Massacre or something. Like he would it would be series one, and you would get like 5 or 6 characters from movies and so on and so forth. So during this initial run, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead McFarlane. We're gonna just look this up real quick. They were called Movie Maniacs, and yeah, I mean, I think there's one on eBay right now. Yeah, 35. I mean, it's oh my god, it's a cool looking figure. Jeez, this thing's cool looking. Yeah, Pumpkinhead is a part of the Movie Maniacs line. I don't know what else you need. So yeah, I mean it's Pumpkinhead is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, it is something right now. I mean, who doesn't have Amazon Prime? It just I would say just grab popcorn because it really is a popcorn movie, and I kind of hate saying that. I just think it's lame. I think it's weak, but go check it out. I'm going to go. I gotta do some drawing for Inktober, which you can follow on AKAPAD 13 on Instagram. Just find me on Facebook, Peter A. DeLuca business page. Find me on YouTube. Just search Bad Eats or search AKA Pad. But yeah, I'm out there. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you haven't seen this movie and you watch it for the first time after listening to this. I want to know what your takeaway is. But hey, Dream Warriors, 31 Days of Dread, Day 2. Signing off.